Like and subscribe. The Moon, Earth's only natural satellite, has always fascinated humans throughout history. For centuries, people have looked up at the Moon, wondering about its mysteries, and dreaming of visiting it. It wasn't until July 20, 1969, that human beings finally set foot on the Moon, and Neil Armstrong became the first person to step onto its surface. The journey of Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was an American astronaut and a former naval aviator. He was one of the crew members of the Apollo 11 mission, which was launched on July 16, 1969, from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The mission was the first time that humans had attempted to land on the Moon. After a journey of 4 days, the Apollo 11 spacecraft entered the Moon's orbit. Armstrong and his crewmate, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, then boarded the lunar module, LM, which they named Eagle. The LM separated from the command module, piloted by Michael Collins, and descended to the Moon's surface. At 10:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 20, 1969, Armstrong became the first person to step onto the Moon. His famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," were broadcast live to millions of people around the world. Armstrong and Aldrin spent a total of 21 hours and 36 minutes on the Moon's surface, conducting experiments, taking photographs, and collecting rock samples. They planted the American flag, and Armstrong left a plaque that read, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the Moon, July 1969 AD. We came in peace for all mankind." Whose name is written on the Moon and why? Apart from the American flag and the plaque, Armstrong also left something else on the Moon's surface. He had with him a small silicon disc, about the size of a US 50-cent piece, containing the names of 73 people, including politicians, astronauts, and scientists. The names on the disc were chosen by NASA, and they represented people who had made significant contributions to the space program or had been involved in the Apollo missions. The list included the names of all the Apollo 1 astronauts, who had died in a fire during a launch pad test in 1967. After Apollo 2, why no one able to go on Moon? After the Apollo program, there were no more manned missions to the Moon. The last time humans visited the Moon was in 1972, during the Apollo 17 mission. There were several reasons why no one has been back to the Moon since then. Firstly, the Apollo program was expensive, and the US government was facing economic challenges at the time. There were also concerns about the safety of the astronauts, and the risk of failure in the program. Secondly, there was a shift in public interest away from space exploration, and the focus shifted towards other issues, such as the Vietnam War, civil rights, and the environment. Finally, there were technological limitations at the time, and it was difficult to justify the expense of returning to the Moon without a clear scientific or economic goal. In recent years, there has been renewed interest in space exploration, and several countries, including the US, China, and Russia, have announced plans to return to the Moon. The aim is to establish a permanent presence on the Moon and use it as a base for further exploration of the solar system. In conclusion, the journey of Neil Armstrong and the Apollo 11 mission was a significant achievement in human history. It represented a triumph of science, technology, and human ingenuity. Although no one has been back to the Moon since the Apollo program, there is renewed interest in space exploration, and we may soon see humans